Hi, Julie Gibbons here from tractorgirl.com.au, and today I am going to talk to you about branding because it's one of the questions that I get asked a lot. What even is branding? It's not just graphic design, it's a whole bunch of things. So what is branding is that it is about being consistent. It's about being putting yourself out there in a regular and consistent and reliable way, and so that people know that you represent something, that you stand for something, that you are a real person that really means what they say. The same is true for big business. So a real brand like Nike stands for something particular, whereas Adidas, even though it's a similar company, actually stands for something else. And I'll talk about them a little bit more in a minute. So how you create your brand is, obviously there's all the visuals, and that's the thing that I love, but it is certainly not the only thing. Your brand runs through every touch point in your whole business. That's anything, whether it's visual, whether it's written stuff, whether it's the words that you use, it's the touch, like even, I'll get onto this in a minute, the paper that you use for your stationery, so touch. The sound, you know, how I sound when I'm talking, or how you sound on the phone, or a whole bunch of other things too, and your smell even, perhaps, if you're, maybe the smell of your stationery, maybe the smell of your food if you're a restaurant, and the taste, of course, as well. So there's lots of different ways that you can connect with your customer, and every time you interact with your customer is a touch point. So it's even your business name and your tagline. So my business name obviously is Tractor Girl, but I also have Tractor Girl Visual Business, and my tagline is Build Your Brand Beautifully. And my tagline is there because I fully believe that everybody is capable of good design with a little knowledge and practice. And yes, you can build it yourself, and that's my job, to teach you how to build it yourself. Everybody can build their own brand beautifully. So your social media profile, that's another touch point with your customer, what you have on your social media profile picture. It's also like the banner for your Facebook page, that kind of thing. Your profile description, how do you describe your business? Now I have seen so many people not even bother with that, like they haven't got anything written in their about section. It's just got a link to their website. Like, I want to know who these people are before I even click on the website. I'm not going to go there if you don't give me a clue as to why I should. It's what you say in your posts. So like how you speak in your post, how excited you are in your posts, how formal you might be in your posts, all of those words that you use in your social media posts, that's part of your brand as well. And also how you respond when people ask you a question, whether you are friendly and helpful, or whether you are formal and say, go here to find this bit of information, or like how do you respond to people who interact with you on your page. As I said before, your stationery, your business stationery is a big touch point with your customer. So that's your business card. Don't ever think that your business card is unimportant. It's not just a carrier of information. It's also about presenting yourself in its best light. And you want people to keep your business card. So please make it pretty or useful, or preferably both. It depends on your industry. Of course, you can't have everybody can't make their business card useful, but you know, in terms of usefulness, I've seen people who have graphic designers who have a little ruler along the side of their business card with pixel measurements, and or even just a reference sheet for crochet hook sizes on someone who does crochet. So it can be really, really simple like that, just a little bit of information. But even without that, if you want to make it beautiful, absolutely beautiful, people will tend to keep your business card longer than if you just jam a whole bunch of irrelevant information in there, and they tend to just throw them out. You don't want that. So your phone manner, obviously how you speak to people on the phone is a big touch point with your customers as well. Your video and your webinars, and on your video and webinars, obviously it's about how you dress. Like I'm dressed pretty cash, and I usually am, and that's just me. Your backdrop, I'm just sitting in my kitchen. It's just that's my bowl of fruit, and that's my beautiful picture behind me of another bowl of fruit, actually, with some flowers. And my tone of voice, like, are you going to speak to them formally, or are you going to speak to them openly and friendly, or what's your body language like as well? So all of that kind of will feed into your video, and how you present yourself, and what your brand is perceived as. So everything that you do builds into create your brand personality, and it's every bit as unique as you are. I've got a personality. My brand is slightly different to me because I don't show you everything about what's going on in my life, of course. It's curated, of course, but everything I do in my business is absolutely authentic. It's really, really me. It's only part of me, but it's definitely me. All right, so there are 3 major things to keep in mind when you look at building your brand. There are the 3 fundamentals. So the first one is your customer. Your number one thing is your customer. You don't have a business unless you have a customer. So you need to understand what's in their head. It's not just about the demographics. Of course, that's important. Now, I know my demographic is women, and they're around about 45-ish, and they work in independent businesses. But that's not just the only thing about them. Now, I've cut that down to even more by thinking about what their problem is, and that's the vital thing you need to consider when you're putting together your brand. What is your customer's problem, and how can you help solve that problem for them? So you need to think about what's in their head, what's their problem, what's their worldview, how do you align with that? What's their next step, and how can you set them up to ease them into that next step? So there's a whole bunch of things to think about your customer. And as I said, if you don't have customers, you don't have a business. So they are the number one thing you need to get right. Your business personality, and I've just touched on that before. What is it about you, or what is it about your business that you want to project? Now, what kind of feeling do you want to project about your business? What sort of personality do you want to project? Now, please go on. Like every time I ask this question for my clients, they always say, my values are about honesty and integrity. Well, I would say that is an absolute given for any business, and I want you to think a bit deeper than that. So what is it about, what do you want your business to feel like? Do you want to feel happy and bright, or do you want to feel relaxed and casual, or do you want it to feel really slick? What do you want it to feel like? That's the sort of thing that you need to think about in terms of personality. And lastly, you need to think about your product, of course. If you don't have a product to sell, well, you don't really have a business either. But it's not so much about its features, how many gigabytes your computer has or whatever it is. It's more about how your product solves your customer's problem, and how does it make them feel when that problem is solved for them. So have a good think about that. That's about what branding is, and you can get all that together, and you will have a brand. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about branding, you are most welcome to grab my little ebook, my workbook. It's Build Your Brand. You find the link in the right-hand column of this blog, and I will pop the link below as well. All right. I shall catch you next time. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you later. Bye.